A live look now at both Chicago and Portland, where President Trump today told reporters he'd consider invoking the Insurrection Act amid a legal battle over deploying National Guard troops to both cities.
The Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed.
The Insurrection Act that he was talking about of 1807 allows the president to deploy active duty military to states that are unable to stop an insurrection or defy federal law. The president can also activate troops without the approval of a governor under certain circumstances. Illinois and Chicago both filed a lawsuit today to stop the White House from sending in hundreds of troops. Now, hours earlier, a federal judge blocked troops from being deployed to Portland. That's where protests this weekend erupted after tear gas was used against demonstrators, and at least 2 people were arrested. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Adam Yamaguchi, who's live for us in Portland. Adam, the president says that city is burning to the ground. Can you give us an idea of what it's like to be in Portland today?
Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, I can give you a sense of what it's like right here. So this is, behind me is the ICE building. This has been the focal point of all those protests. Now, at this hour, I would say that there are probably about 30 or so protesters. There's a lot of media. And typically these protests seem to follow a similar cadence. At this hour, people start getting off work, people start to assemble, and in the evening hours, the crowd tends to balloon up to, we've seen anywhere from about 100 or so people here over the weekend. And by and large, you've got protesters and counter-protesters kind of yelling at each other throughout the night. On occasion, things can get a little bit more spicy when you have protesters amassing in front of the driveway and effectively blocking the ICE facility, blocking vehicles from coming in and out. That's typically when you start to see the federal police coming out, pushing the crowd, dispersing the crowd, and sometimes resorting to tear gas. That we've seen a number of occasions over the last few days, but by and large right now, it's still relatively mild.
Well, Adam, when we saw the National Guard troops deployed to D.C., there was mixed reaction from the community. Some did not want them there at all. Some were welcoming the extra law enforcement presence. What are you hearing from the folks who live in Portland? Yeah, I would say that the mixed reaction is very much in play here as well. You will not have any problem running into people who say that ICE is not welcome here, that the city is not burning down, and that they don't need a federal presence. But we've also spoken to people who welcome the potential arrival of National Guard, citing things such as crime and homelessness as reasons to bring in some added support. Many of those folks say that the police simply isn't doing its job and that we need federal help. Adam Yamaguchi, live for us in Portland. Thanks so much, Adam.